All right, friends, welcome back to the Blessed Family Podcast. It is a new year, 2026, which is absolutely insane. Makes me feel like an old man. I can remember when we used to sit around talking about the year 2000 being a far way off, and that was over a quarter of a century ago. So, but still, I'm not old. I'm in my prime, no doubt. It is January 5th, the 12th day of Christmas, my eldest daughter Ivy's 17th birthday. God is good, and I love how God has ordained time, right? Seasons, years. We have days, we have weeks, we have months, we have years, and each of them has their period of reflection, right? At the end of the day, we kind of think about the day, and maybe we plan for the next day. Every Lord's Day is each week, so we have, we take life in day bites. We take life in snippets of weeks. And years are really cool because you look at the last year, and I love how Christmas is right there in the mix of it. It's a great time for focusing on the nativity, the incarnation, because without Christ, we cannot glean what we need to from the previous year and plan accordingly for the year to come. But I really enjoy and would encourage you to debrief, look back over 2025, what were our victories? Where were our defeats? And then look forward and plan for 2026. So the name of today's podcast is 5 Tips for Conquering 2026. I picked the number 5, and I went with the first 5 that really came to me. There are many other tips and better tips, but these are the 5 that I have, and I want to share them with you. The way that life is, we can easily just live. We have our habits, traditions, we have our culture, and it's easy just to go with the flow and not stop and think and really step outside of your situation and look at it from the outside. And that's what we need to do. The enemy is very good at getting people to just keep going with the flow until they die and really miss out in very big ways. So that is what we want to do. These are 5 tips that I have for my family, and 5 tips that I think are if someone said, hey, Jared, really quick, 5 tips that are best for Christians out there, this is what I came up with. Here we go. Tip number 1, take dominion of the screens in your life. That's tip number 1. Take dominion of screens. There's nothing inherently wrong with screens. Screens can be a tool. It's very likely if you're listening to this, maybe you're using a screen, and yet they can also be a great tool of wickedness. Right? They can be good, they can be evil, they can also be just a great time waster. I mean, you can have things that aren't necessarily evil or bad, even great things. Believe it or not, moms and dads, even sermons, and Paul Washer and Voddie Baucham and R.C. Sproul can end up, if it's just too much, can be a time waster. So you want to take dominion. Hey, here's a great thing you can do on your smartphones. You can go to settings. This is on an Android. You can go to settings and you can click something called digital well-being. I love that, digital well-being, digital health, digital well-being and parental controls. And then you can tap the usage chart. And then in that usage chart, you can set parameters. You can put an app timer. My son and I, Jared, my eldest son, he's 20, he's about to go back for his 4th semester at New St. Andrews up in Moscow. This last year in 2025, we entered into covenant not to watch YouTube shorts. Saved hours and days to our life, kept our mind sharper. Those shorts, I mean, I'm not saying it's a sin to watch one, but people who just scroll through them, I don't think you're helping your brain. I think you're actually making it weaker, just my opinion. But we did that last year, and this year I said, hey, man, why don't you set a timer on your app? So he put a 15-minute-a-day timer on YouTube. I was so proud of him. I said, brother, you just added hours to your life. So, well, you never know these days. Maybe it was years. So this is about time. It's about content. Put sin to death. Take dominion of screens. Might be the most important tip for conquering 2026. Number 2, make a book list for the year, or at least for the first few months. Make a book list. Say, okay, in this time, whether it's the first quarter, first half year, I want to read these books. Make a list for you. Sit down and make a list as a family, maybe for your family daily devotions. Have your children make a book list. Read good books. Of course, when I give tips like this, people always ask which books. So I decided to be nice and give you a list of just 5 books. And each of them are in a different category. So for history, I would recommend How the Irish Saved Civilization by Cahill. If you've done that one, I would recommend any book by Albert Morin. Theology, let's go with Willing to Believe by R.C. Sproul. Gives a great historical overview of some of the big debates in church and theology. Very good for history and also for rightly understanding what the Scriptures teach. Let's do a classic. You know what? Let's do Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, which is by Stevenson, I believe, Robert, who also wrote Island. And he was a Christian man. And Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, I listened to it a couple weeks ago for the first time. It's a Steve Parker audio, which I'm going to do in a future podcast. Anyhow, I did not understand the spiritual picture it gives of sin, original sin, and how if you play with fire of sin and the flesh, you will get burnt. Let's do a philosophy book. Let's do The Abolition of Man by C.S. Lewis. And let's do a biography. Let's do Luther by Eric Metaxas. And that's also a great way to do book lists. Say, okay, look, we don't want to just do classics or just do history or just do theology. Let's get a good rounded book list. Some are just for fun. Some are historical fiction. Historical fiction, I would do G.A. Henty's book, In Freedom's Cause. Or historical fiction, it's always embarrassing recommending my own, but we just finished this morning as a family our latest book, or not latest, but one of our latest books, Nicholas, which is the historical fiction story of Saint Nicholas of Myra. But friends, make a book list. And therefore, this is preparing to conquer 2026. Number 3, reassess your involvements. This is the hardest one. There are people I've challenged. Guys, involvements is things you get involved in are sticky in that you get stuck to them and you can't rip yourself off of them. And there's people I've challenged. They know they're too busy, but they just cannot. They can't do it. Especially with their kids. Their kids get in certain activities, whether it's a sport or some extracurricular activity. And the parents know that it's probably not the best, but the kid's heart is already attached and they're stuck. So reassess your involvements. What are you signed up for? Do you need to do more? Now, that's usually not the case, but perhaps you do. We have found out that there's some stuff that we need to do, so we're actually doing more. This is the most we're doing this year. Or do you need to do less? In my experience, it's often the latter, right? So just to give you a snapshot, so this year we've signed up for piano lessons. 6 or 7 of us are taking those. We've got one-day academy that we've never done before. 2 or 3 of my kids are doing that. We've got theater this spring that 2 of my kids are doing. We've got football in the fall for us. This is the fullest schedule in 20 years of family we've ever had. We are towing the line with too much. Now, for some people, that's nothing. But the point of this is to simply rethink things. I'm not saying you've got to do this or do that. I'm just saying time commitments are important, and I would liken time commitments to money and debt. For instance, it's very tempting for people to want a new everything, new house, new car, new phone, new computer. But with those things comes debt. And what if someone wants everything that's new without considering the debt? So they buy the house, the car, the phone, the subscriptions, and the next thing they know, they're in big trouble, right? They're in debt that's going to take them decades to get out of. In the same way, it's easy to sign up for everything. I mean, after all, hey, theater, that sounds good. Sailing class, why not? Shooting class, why not? I mean, guys, you cannot do everything. You can't do half of everything that there is out there to do. And yet it's easy just to sign up for everything without considering the time debt attached to it and how that may potentially rob you of the most important things, which would be family time, daily worship, and Sunday worship. Family time, daily worship, Sunday worship. You want to conquer 2026? Commit to family time, daily worship as a family, and unless you have a very good reason, not missing Sunday worship. If by your actions you show your children that corporate worship on Sundays isn't a big deal, believe it or not, it's probably going to convince them deep down in their subconscious that God isn't a big deal. And so you have to fight for these, okay? Fewer and fewer Christian families are embracing. Well, actually, no. I think it's swinging back. I think God is going to help us with this because without so we're doomed. But friends, historically, the last 3 decades, the enemy has been taking away family time, daily worship, and Sunday worship. Most Christian families don't even consider daily worship. Most Christian families, well, I can't say that. Most American families don't eat around the dinner table together. So this is something we have to fight for. So number 3, reassess your involvements. Number 4, this is a great transition, worship faithfully and well in a local church. Okay? Worship faithfully and well. Let 2026 be your best experience, Lord willing. Obviously, there's times where we're kind of in valleys and wandering in the desert, so to speak. I've been there. But I pray that 2026 is the best worship church experience you've had thus to date. Listen, let me be very clear. There is no perfect church. That being said, I'm convinced more and more, this is something that the last 5 years I've really changed my stance on or improved my stance on. I am convinced more and more that how we worship is how we live. If your family is simply going through the motions regarding church, then that's how your children are going to live as adults. They're just going to go through the motions. Now, when I say worshiping well, I'm not talking about emotions, even though emotions are great, but I'm not talking about feel overwhelmed every Sunday. That's a very dangerous. That would be, friends, equating your walk with Christ with emotion would be like equating your marriage with emotion and thinking that you have to feel in love 24/7. That is a train wreck. I mean, that is a death sentence for marriages. And that's what we have in our churches now, that every Sunday has to be this emotional experience. And man, when pastors get enslaved to that, goodness gracious. No, when we say worship well, we aren't talking about emotion. We're talking about the Bible. We're talking about asking the question, how does God want to be worshiped? That was the focus of our forefathers, and they changed the world for the glory of God. So if your church doesn't provide a good biblical worship service, then you need to fight for that, or you need to go find a church that does. Just in my opinion. Let's rethink church in light of Scripture. Last, not least, number 5, hey, plan adventures for 2026. This is dates with spouses. Oh, well, only one spouse per person. This is date with spouse. This is rites of passage with children. This is family trips. If you're anything like me, friends, and you've heard me talk about this with rites of passage, if you don't plan for it, it's not going to happen. Like, for instance, I say, man, I really want to go camping with my kids. You don't put it on the calendar. You don't make a point of it. I mean, if you don't set something in stone, it is not going to happen because this is the way life is. You just keep going. And to step out of normal activity, you have to plan. Thus, number 5, plan adventures with your spouse, with your family as a whole, and with different children. I would like to plug on this 5th one, our book, Rites of Passage, that I believe is the last book we came out with. No, it's not. We came out with Titanic. Second to last book we came out with, Rites of Passage. Check it out, Amazon.com. All right, friends, so 5 tips. Number 1, take dominion of screens. Number 2, make a book list. Number 3, reassess your involvements. Number 4, worship faithfully and well in a local church. Number 5, plan adventures. Friends, let's conquer 2026 for the glory of God. Love you all very much. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.